The rain came down in needles, each drop stinging my cheeks as I fumbled with the umbrella that refused to open. My key scraped the lock twice before it caught, the front door groaning open to a blast of warmth and laughter that wasn't mine. Inside, the house pulsed with life. My in-laws' anniversary party, the one I'd begged off from because of a late meeting at the office. But there they were, my elderly parents, huddled on the porch like discarded shadows, their thin coats doing nothing against the October chill. Mom's lips were blue, Dad's hands trembling as he clutched a soggy paper bag of groceries I'd asked them to pick up earlier. "What the hell?" I whispered, dropping my briefcase. The sight hit me like a gut punch. Visceral wrong. They shouldn't be out here. Not in this storm. Not while the house thrummed with music and clinking glasses inside. Mom looked up, her eyes watery but sharp. "Sarah locked the door, honey. Said it was a private event. We didn't want to bother you at work." Dad nodded weakly, his breath fogging the air. "We figured we'd wait." "It's fine." Rage bubbled up, hot and immediate, but beneath it, a sliver of confusion. Sarah, my wife of 12 years, knew they were coming. I texted her this morning. Parents dropping by with dinner stuff. Let them in early. She'd replied with a thumbs-up emoji. Simple. Innocent. I ushered them inside through the side entrance, away from the revelry spilling from the living room. The kitchen was a mess of catered trays and empty wine bottles, the air thick with garlic and perfume. Voices echoed, my mother-in-law's booming laugh, Mark's baritone cutting through. My brother-in-law, always the charmer. "Stay here," I told my parents, settling them at the table with towels and hot tea from the kettle. Mom's hands shook as she wrapped them around the mug. Dad stared at the floor, pride wounded. "I'll sort this." As I moved toward the living room, the party's glow felt alien, like stepping into someone else's life. Balloons bobbed against the ceiling, fairy lights twinkling over platters of shrimp and cheese. Sarah was there, in the red dress I'd bought her last birthday, the one that hugged her curves just right. She was laughing, head thrown back, her hand on Mark's arm. Too lingering. Too familiar. My stomach twisted. Mark, my best friend since college, the guy who'd stood as best man at our wedding. He'd been crashing with us for weeks. Just until the divorce finalizes, Sarah had said. He's family. I'd agreed, because what else do you do? Trust is a quiet thing. You don't question it until it cracks. Cleared my throat. Sarah. She spun, her smile faltering for a split second. Guilt or surprise? Alex. You're early. She crossed the room, kissing my cheek, her lips cool from the wine. Your parents. They must have gotten the time wrong. I told everyone it was family only tonight. Mark clapped me on the back, his grip firm. Buddy. Join the party. Your folks are troopers, waiting out there like that. Troopers. The word grated. I forced a nod, scanning the room. My in-laws beamed, oblivious or pretending to be. But something nagged, a whiff of Mark's cologne on Sarah's neck, mingling with her perfume. Or was I imagining it? Work stress, I told myself. The late nights, the arguments over bills. We'd been drifting, sure. Sex down to once a month, conversations clipped. But betrayal? Well, not us. The evening dragged, a slow simmer of unease. I played host, refilling glasses, but my mind replayed fragments. Sarah's phone buzzing earlier that week, her quick glance and pocket. Work, she'd said. Mark's business trips, aligning with her girls' nights. Small things rationalized away. Love makes you blind, doubt makes you paranoid. Parents retired early to the guest room, exhausted. As the party wound down, I found Sarah in the kitchen, loading the dishwasher. Mark lingered, helping, too helpful. You okay? I asked her, voice low. She didn't look up. Fine. Just tired. Her fingers trembled slightly on a plate. Guilt. Or anger at my suspicion. Mark excused himself to the bathroom. The house quieted, rain pattering against windows like accusing fingers. I poured a whiskey, neat, the burn steadying me. Upstairs, a door clicked. Not the bathroom, our bedroom. Heart pounding, I climbed the stairs silently, the carpet muffling my steps. The door was ajar, a sliver of light spilling out. Voices murmured inside, hushed, intimate. "Can't keep doing this," Sarah whispered. "He suspects." Mark's chuckle, low and reassuring. "He doesn't. Alex is too wrapped up in his job. And your parents showing up. Perfect distraction." My blood ran cold. I pushed the door open. They sprang apart. Sarah on the bed, Mark standing too close, his shirt untucked. The air smelled of them, sweat, secrecy. On the nightstand, her wedding ring glinted, removed. "Alex!" Sarah gasped, eyes wide with terror and something like relief. Mark raised his hands. "It's not what it looks like," I finished, voice cracking. The room spun. Our bed, the one we'd conceived our daughter in, now tainted. Heartbreak crashed over me, wave after wave. Confusion first. How long? Then anger, raw and blinding. I wanted to hit him, scream at her. But love lingered, a poison thread. She'd been my anchor. He'd been my brother. Sarah slid off the bed, tears streaming. 6 months. It started after the miscarriage. You shut down, Alex. Buried in work. Mark. He listened. Rationalization stung. The miscarriage, our unspoken grief. I'd thrown myself into promotions to provide. Thinking distance healed. Guilt twisted in me. Was I to blame? Well, cheating wasn't listening. It was betrayal. Mark's face crumpled. Not villainous, just weak. I love her, man. The divorce. It messed me up. Sarah was there. Moral grayness choked me. He wasn't evil, he was lost like us. But trust, shattered glass underfoot. I backed away, chest heaving. "Get out. Both of you." Downstairs, my parents waited, sensing the storm. Mom hugged me as I collapsed, denial crumbling into sobs. "We saw the signs, son. The locked doors, the whispers." They knew. More layers peeled back. Dad's eyes held quiet judgment. Not of me, but of the fragility we'd all ignored. In the days that followed, divorce papers loomed. Sarah begged forgiveness, her motivations clear in tearful confessions. Loneliness, a desperate grasp at feeling alive. Mark vanished, guilt-ridden texts unanswered. I wrestled inner demons. Fear of alone, doubt if love was ever real, anger at my blindness. But the twist came weeks later, a quiet evening alone. Sorting mail, I found a letter from Mom, tucked in my coat from that night. Inside, a photo of Sarah and Mark, taken months ago at a family barbecue. On the back, her handwriting. "For when you're ready to see." They'd planned it. Not just a fair. Exiling my parents that night to buy time, a cruel diversion. But why reveal now? I confronted her one last time. In the empty house, echoing with ghosts. "It was to protect you," she sobbed. "Mark's ex. She's dangerous. Threatened us. Locking them out kept eyes off the house. Lies upon lies. Or half-truths. His divorce wasn't mutual. Stalking, restraining orders. Sarah's involvement pulled me into danger I'd never known. Heartbroken, I walked away, the betrayal deeper than flesh. Trust wasn't just shattered. It was weaponized. In the rain-slick streets, I shivered like my parents had, wondering if love was ever safe, or just another storm to endure. Love, I realized, wasn't the victim. It was. And forgiveness. That was the real betrayal, one I'd never commit again.